The message arrived just as I adjusted my tie in the bathroom mirror. I need to see you tonight alone. No name, no signature. It didn't need one. My stomach sank. My mind spun, but I shoved the phone into my pocket, trying to steady my hands. Tonight was supposed to be harmless, just a client appreciation party. A casual evening with colleagues. Nothing more. Claire, my wife, entered, her laughter light, a strand of hair tucked behind her ear. She caught my reflection in the mirror and smiled. The smile I'd leaned on for 20 years, and suddenly my chest tightened in a way I hated. "Don't worry," she said, brushing past me as she straightened the hem of her dress. "He just wants to talk." I forced a smile, nodded. Of course, nothing to worry about, but the words echoed through my head all night, louder than the music, louder than the chatter. The signs had been subtle at first. Claire carrying her phone everywhere, the bathroom, the bedroom, even while brushing her teeth. Unknown calls ignored, excuses framed as work. Distance growing, yet careful not to be obvious. I questioned myself more than her. Am I imagining it? Am I overthinking? I watched her laugh at jokes I didn't get. Noticed the way she withheld details, the flicker in her eyes when a new message arrived. Little things we dismissed as stress, as long hours, piled up into a shadow I couldn't shake. The party was crowded, loud. Coworkers joked, clinked glasses, oblivious to the tightness in my chest. Claire slipped past me to the terrace doors. Calm smile. "Don't worry, he just wants to talk." I watched her go, a chill crawling down my spine. Minutes later, she returned, flushed, hair falling loose over her shoulders. She leaned close, whispered, "Everything's fine, really?" But the faint perfume wasn't hers. On her neck, on her wrist, my stomach turned. I tried to focus on the evening, forced small talk, laughed when I didn't feel like it. Unease settled like a stone in my chest. By the time speeches ended, I couldn't ignore it anymore. Later, Claire danced with friends. Her phone buzzed on the table. She glanced at it, then quickly hid it. Curiosity overcame me. I picked it up when she stepped away, something I never imagined doing. Messages were brief, casual, mundane even, but the names, the tone, the secrecy, they screamed betrayal, flirtation, intimacy I wasn't invited into. Then it clicked. The earlier text was not a single moment. It was part of a pattern. My chest tightened, hands trembling. How had I missed it? Or worse, how had I ignored the signs? When she returned, I confronted her quietly in the coat room. "Claire, who is this?" My voice barely a whisper. She froze, eyes widening. "Daniel, it's not what you think. It's exactly what I think," I said, holding up her phone. The messages, the secrecy, the late-night text telling me to meet alone. She ran a hand over her face, trembling. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened." A wave of anger and heartbreak washed over me. "You destroyed years of trust. Everything we built. It just happened." Tears welled in her eyes. I felt lonely, neglected. "I didn't want to hurt you, Daniel. I didn't know how to stop." I closed my eyes, the weight crushing me. Memories that stung, the quiet dinners, nights she fell asleep with her phone pressed to her chest instead of talking to me. Every tender moment, every laugh, suddenly felt like lies. "I loved you," I whispered, voice breaking. "I still do, but I can't. I can't pretend this is okay." She reached for my hand, pulled away. "I need time," I said, space to look at her without pain. The rest of the evening blurred. I left early, walking the streets alone. Every streetlight a reminder of what had been. By the time I got home, adrenaline faded, leaving only emptiness. In the following weeks, there were difficult conversations, tears, apologies, confessions. She admitted her guilt, her longing, the loneliness that led her to someone else. I admitted my anger, my confusion, my sense of betrayal. Neither of us emerged unscathed, but there was honesty. Painful, raw, necessary. I realized love doesn't always protect you from heartbreak. Sometimes it exposes it. Sometimes it leaves you holding the pieces of a life you thought secure, asking if you can ever trust again. Months later, I can walk past that hotel without my chest tightening. I still love her, in a way, but I've learned that love without trust isn't enough. I've learned my self-respect matters, and sometimes the hardest choice, the one that breaks your heart, is the one that saves it. That night at the party, I smiled at my wife, tried to believe her words. "He just wants to talk." One moment changed everything. But even as my world shifted, I discovered something fragile and vital. The ability to stand alone, to face the truth, to rebuild a life that doesn't rely on lies. The pain lingers, yes, but so does the strength I never knew I had. And the quiet, steady, heartbreaking truth is how I survive.